Good afternoon, everybody. This is Marianne Bailey with the Hip Senior, and it is Happy New Year's. I am so excited that it's 2021, even though, we all think that, oh, yay, it's a new year, and there's so many new possibilities and stuff, and there's still a lot of problems going on in the world, but you know what? Some of us are just trying to make the best of it that we can possibly do and have a good time growing our businesses and being better than we were last year. So this year we are starting to bring to you new contributors for the Hip Senior. We're growing our directory. Things are just going really great here on our end. And so today I am bringing you Krista Powers from Potera, right? Krista, is that how it's pronounced? Potera.
You've got it.
Tell us a little bit about what your business is.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. I am excited. And Potera Coaching is a business that I launched in September of 2020. So, in the midst of all the things happening or not happening. And it is a life coaching business and consulting and speaking and all of that jazz that goes along with it, really with a heart toward helping people grow. People who are hungry and craving to move beyond where they are, whether they feel stuck or whether they're just really wanting to move. And my passion and some of my background is really working with the aging end of the spectrum, and so working with caregivers who are in the process of such a transformational role and relationship that they're having. So to really do some coaching with them specifically.
Okay, so like what? Give us an example.
Sure. So if you think about a person who might be caring for their aging mom who is diagnosed with Alzheimer's dementia, that disease can certainly be a very long enduring disease of 10, 15, 20 years. And the process of caregiving is so all consuming. And throughout it, it can really cause a person to lose themselves, right? So between balancing work and balancing the caregiving responsibilities for mom and perhaps balancing responsibilities for caring for children, that's where ultimately I've seen it too many times working in the industry that person loses themselves. And my hope is to work with a person to help them work through kind of the dynamics of guilt, shame, stress, feeling stuck, feeling, paralyzed, whatever might be going on. And once they have the nuts and bolts, the things in place to make sure that mom's safe and healthy and all of those things, and there's great resources out there that certainly HIP seniors provide for all of those services. That's where I then plug in and work with the person on coaching. So where are they in the midst of this? So yes, caregiving is one role and one hat that they're wearing, and yet what are they hoping for themselves as well? And it has to be at the right moment, because it can't be right when mom's diagnosed and you're in the thick of everything. But then throughout that process of 10, 20 years, that person can't negate who they are and what they need to do with their own life as well.
Yeah, there's always a lot of emotions and a lot of responsibilities that go along with caring for somebody in that position. And you do forget who you are.
Yeah. I've experienced it myself. So from a personal lens, I lost myself in the midst of caregiving. And so I'm like, oh, I don't want that for others, and I've just, as I said, witnessed it time and time again. So I think that it's important for us to know that we get really focused on tasks and being human doings, and we forget that we're human beings, right? And we really have to have some different strategies, and that's what I do as a coach, to look at how do we get back to that, and how do we create a life that we love living, even in the midst of the responsibilities that we have.
Okay, so a person would contact you when? Not in probably in the very beginning because they don't realize that that's going to happen, possibly.
Sure, sure. Here's the thing. I think the sweet spot is really once a person has the services set up for the aging person that they love and care for. So whether it's making sure that they're living in a situation that's safe, whether in their own home with other additional services, or in a long-term care community, it's after those few things are established. If a person contacts me before they're established, I'm always happy to share additional resources as well and make sure that they get those things in place. But it's kind of when a person's able to say, whoa, I am overwhelmed and I've been doing this for 6 months now. And, I feel like my work life is waning. I feel like my relationships are waning. When that person has that moment of like, just kind of, shoot, how am I going to proceed? That's a good time to call and just have an exploratory conversation and see if it's a good fit.
So would a couple be able to contact you and say, hey, we're both kind of struggling with this and we've kind of pulled away from each other because of this and we just really don't know. Obviously you're not a marriage counselor, but when a person is dealing with one of their parents, that usually involves, if they're married, involves both of those people. So are you willing to work with like the couple together on this?
I am, definitely. Yeah. And bottom line,
Or,
people,
you know,
what's that?
or brothers and sisters that are working together trying to figure stuff out.
For sure, for sure. And it's, I think to me, the biggest nuance between counseling or therapy and coaching is counseling is really looking at your past with a goal of healing, and coaching is looking at your present with a goal of growth. So as long as people are interested in growth, moving, through what they're experiencing now, then yeah, I'm happy to work with anyone and couples and family members, because that certainly is the reality.
Right. And so you're in Kentucky, but I imagine that because we're all working from home and utilizing Zoom and Facebook and stuff like that, that you could work with anybody anywhere in the country, right?
You've got it. Yeah. Yeah. And it works well. I mean, Zoom has made it so easy, and other platforms and even telephone. So yeah, it's very doable.
Yeah, it is really doable these days to reach out and be able to, just even me with being able to teach people how to use technology and stuff and being able to screen share and show people this is what I really mean and stuff like that. Just kind of getting out there and touching the hearts and souls of people to make a difference is
Right.
what you're doing. And what so many people out there these days, because of COVID and whatever, are trying to accomplish as well. And it's kind of become in some ways, we're so much more closer than we were in 2019. And in some ways, we're farther apart because people are scared to deal with each other as well. So it's a tough call, but I applaud what you're doing to help make the lives of people that work with those people better, because I know so many people that have worked with people that have dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that, and it's exhausting day in and
Mhm.
day out, and they just give their all the time, and
Yeah.
they forget, like you said, who they are and what they're about.
And it's so much more than just kind of self-care. Self-care is great, but that also becomes an extra task to do, right? Go schedule a mani or pedi or a massage or go take a walk. Those are great things and really necessary and healthy for a caregiver. And yet, do they have time to do that? Do they have energy to do that? And so that's where coaching really delves into something that's much deeper than kind of the basic self-care.
I think sometimes even business owners forget to do that kind of stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
I know, like
You're
myself,
right.
at the end of a long day, some days I'm like, I really should cook dinner. I'm like, oh, look, that yogurt looks really easy. you know
Yes.
so we forget to really just kind of stop and take a deep breath and just like, what's in my best interest for me.
Yep, most definitely. And, I would say also kind of the thought is it boils down for me about really bearing witness to someone in their journey and really helping to hold up a mirror for them to understand, okay, what are some of my limiting beliefs and my limiting, structures that I've established in my life. And then encouragement and support and all of those things put together, packaged together, really move into that growth and transformation and living a life that feels right and with purpose and with more like juiciness and goodness. So
I like
yeah, that's my hope with people.
that should be your word for 2021. Juiciness.
Juiciness.
That's my word. Juiciness. Every time I think of Krista for now on, I'll just think Miss Juiciness.
That's right.
So you and I met. Do you remember how? Did who introduced us?
Oh, well, this most recent time it was Diana Bossy.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. But I feel like our paths have crossed a bit here and there through the years, just from different work I've done in healthcare industry and aging industry and your passion and commitment to it. So yeah.
And it's amazing the number of people. So I've been teaching senior citizens how to use technology forever now, but I've been back in the Dayton area since 2009, since like the housing crash area time. And but the number of people since I started the Hip Senior that I've met and been introduced to has been astronomical, and I'm so grateful and blessed to have such a strong network right now. And so you reached out to me, and we decided that you were a good fit to be a contributor for the Hip Senior. And I'm so excited about that. And it's not necessarily about what you do for a living. It's just kind of where we came up with a plan to kind of um, encourage life and excitement
Mhm.
for every month that comes across us. And we're kind of taking your path as it comes across for what we're doing for that month. So tell us about what we're doing for January.
Sure. Yes. And I am so excited and so grateful. So thank you for allowing me to be a contributing writer.
Oh, we're so
Um,
excited about it too. So thank you
yeah.
for being here.
So January, of course, historically everyone's like, oh, it's a fresh year, it's a new start. And, I think we have a little bit, and we also are a little bit like, and yet not everything has changed for us just yet, to kind of plug back in, create a new normal, all those things. So the theme around January is that it's about creating a bucket list, right? And what are the things that you want to do? The nuance here though is it's so much more than what do you want to do, because again I go back to we're not human doings, we're human beings. And so who do you want to become? What characteristics do you really want to pull into your whole being? What do you dream for your relationships and for the legacy that you're going to live, and just really a whole variety of who can you become and how do you do that? Because we are in a moment in history where things are still a bit isolated. That doesn't mean that you have to stop dreaming and stop building a bucket list and stop pursuing these things. It's still very possible. So that's what the January article is going to be about. And I'm really very excited because I'm going to interview a few people who are doing this and have been really living their passion and pursuing that for years, which sometimes is scary, to do a midlife sort of pivot, or to continue to put yourself out there and make leaps and not always know the answers and how it's going to turn out. And so these three people are, so inspiring. So we'll do some interviews with them.
That's great. And then February, we're not going to give away February, are we? We're going to keep everybody in suspense for what's coming up for Valentine's Day.
They should probably just plug in and make sure that they're tapping into the Hip Senior. Yeah.
All right. So we are going to post your stories on thehipsenior.com, and it's going to be once a week from starting this Friday, right? Friday, Saturday.
Actually, so next week we'll post the first one. Yeah.
And so everybody's going to have to check back at thehipsenior.com to see Krista's stories and her interviews, which I'm sure are just going to be wonderful. And any last words?
Honestly, just words of gratitude, right? I'm thankful for you for creating this platform and this venue for people, and I'm grateful to be able to share what I might have to share with folks as well. So yeah, it's so nice to be in community like this. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's really been it's it's a business, but it's also an act of love. It's being able not only to help senior citizens find, great information. And then with the directory, we've made making shopping safer for seniors, so people can go to our directory and be able to find businesses that have been personally vetted and know that we're doing our best to help keep them a little bit safer than just like normal Google search. But then also being able to help the businesses grow as well, because we are living in a pandemic, and who would have ever thought we'd be saying that, right? But yeah. So we need to find, interesting and intriguing ways to get out there and get in front of people and to let them know, hey, we exist. Small businesses out there are the backbone of America, and sometimes just creating new ways of get spreading the word, and all of us working together to do that is really what just kind of gets me out of bed every morning, and the thought of being able to help people grow, just really, that's just my juicy part of the
I was
world.
gonna say you're living a juicy life, Marianne. It's good.
All right, Miss Juicy, we're going to wrap this up. But thank you so much for being on with us today. And I can't wait to see your articles. And I wish you every bit of good luck and well wishes for the year 2021 and for your new business. I know that you're just wonderful, and you're just gonna keep it growing and moving forward with it.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Everybody, check out Krista's articles coming out here in January at thehipsenior.com. Oh, Krista, tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Sure, sure. So my website is poteracoaching.com, and I'll spell it, and also tell you real quick what Potera is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Potera is POTERECOACHING.com. So
Okay.
check out my site there. And Potera, my last name is Powers. Certainly when I started a business, I thought, well, I have to use Powers in my name, but so many things were taken. So I went with the Latin root of the word power, which is Potera. So it has some meaning, some depth, some interconnectedness about being a root word. And yeah, that's where that comes from.
That is amazing. I love that. That's just been like the highlight of my day is was learning that today from you. So,
Thank you.
guys, if you're caring for somebody and you just really need to know how to self connect to yourself and figure out how to work love into yourself again, just reach out to Krista. She's amazing. You guys will not regret it.
Thank you.
Everybody have a wonderful, happy 2021. Look for Krista's articles on thehipsenior.com, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Bye.